So let's talk about Midnight Star, which, like you said, one of the best bands ever put together. You guys started to get those hits right at the time the video revolution was happening. We all remember the fantastic videos. And what was it like it being so young and things taking off, like, to the top of the charts?
Well, I don't know how young we felt at that time. Yeah, but man, we did 3 albums before we got a hit, before we got a national hit, and it wasn't because it wasn't good stuff. It still needed that same work that Motown was talking about, that 2-year thing in the studio too. It's like different phases. You got your preparation year, you got your studio years, then you got your actual concert performing years, and then your headline, when you reach that level, which is a whole nother deal. But it was amazing. I mean, it was good that we had to work extra hard. So we weren't that first out of the box hit wonder that, that can happen to a group that might be their last hit, period. So by the time we got it, we had much respect. And then we know what we had to do to get there. That No Parking on the Dance Floor album was no joke. Every song had to be a hit. Yep. Every song had to be tested. Every song had to be, listened to by the audience from a certain standpoint. But once we got Freakazoid, and once we tested Freakazoid, and once people crashed the dance floor off the rough mixes, going against Atomic Dog and different songs of the era like that, we said, "Oh man, we got something." And then once it turned into a release, and we sold 100,000 records just in New York. So that was.
Did you stop by BLS, Frankie Crocker?
Oh yeah, Frankie was. I idolized Frankie. He was.
Yeah, me too.
Cool.
Yeah,
he was the coolest guy in the world.
Yeah, I sent him I never got the chance to speak to him in person. I was at the Time concert in Tramps in New York, and he was right in front, but he was going out the door. But I emailed him before he got sick, and he was respectful and nice. So, tell us about going to BLS and inner city broadcasting.
Well, I probably saw Frankie more at the parties than I did necessarily at the station. But we went to all the stations and did all the press tours, and it was most times myself and Belinda. So missed a lot of those things, but as different phases of our career. By the time we hit Calloway, then it was just the two of us. So we really had a ball with Downtown Julie Brown.
Oh yeah.
MTV. Pat Sajak and Arsenio Hall and all those great fun shows.
Yeah, a couple highlights. Soul Train, of course. You can see when the dancers are amped up going down the line to Midnight Star, and also
it was also Don Cornelius was the coolest.
Yeah, that's right. He had some fun with you guys. You guys, how many appearances did you do? Just 1 or 2?
Well, it's been Midnight Star and Calloway. We did about 3 or 4.
Okay. But
Midnight Star was 2, and Calloway was. Well, that's why you do 2 songs every show.
Right.
So we only did it one time as Calloway. Then we did "You My Everything" and "I Want to Be Rich," and 2 times as Midnight Star. Yeah.
Right. And another one, American Bandstand, Dick Clark giving you that gold record. That was real special.
That's classic. We got to replay that again.
Yeah. What was that like? Was it a surprise or?
It was a surprise. That was a surprise. We must have been to Jackson 5 because that was the vision that we kind of had. It was like a fantasy. Like, we're actually on American Bandstand. Right. Did somebody say that?
You guys both have any of the costumes from the Midnight Star days?
Oh man, I wish. I think what happened too, there was a big fire at one of the studios where we stored a lot of our equipment as well as old gear, and I'm usually pretty good at keeping up with stuff like that too. But man,
but what I did have was Midnight Star, my 2 tour jackets and a Freakazoid T-shirt, and those are all in the African American Music Museum in Nashville.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So the legacy continues. It'll be there forever, hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I wanted to ask you about the tours with Midnight Star. What were you ever? Were you on the Solar tour?
Yes.
Not the first one though.
Okay, because Dynasty was telling me about they took a bus across the country and
Yeah, we toured. We toured later with Klymaxx and Shalamar.
oh, okay. That must
Yeah,
have been
that
a
was
great tour. Yeah.
different version of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a lot. That was a lot of fun. In fact, we were on tour together when the first time we heard "Meeting in the Ladies' Room" on the radio.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we were on the tour bus and that thing was blasting. We were like, holy crap.
Yeah, I've actually, when I did the radio show in Connecticut up until the pandemic started, we had Rock and Roll Hall of the members of the Talking Heads were in the studio. And as the Tom Tom Club, Chris France and Tina Weymouth were playing their music, they came in for an interview. They're like, okay, we got to go. We want to hear the song in the car. They rushed out of the studio to go home. They're like you guys, right there, successful musicians. They were as pumped as ever.
Yeah, it's crazy, but that was a great tour.
Did you do Budweiser Superfest too?
Yes, yeah.
Which one?
I don't know what year, but we did the Astrodome.
Oh wow!
In New Orleans, and that was the most incredible concert.
Superdome in New Orleans.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, Superdome.
And Astrodome in Houston, I think.
Right. Do you remember who was on that tour? Other bands and singers?
Rick James and Mary Jane Girls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I saw it. Oh, go ahead, Vincent.
Oh no, I was going to say, and we did a show with Rick James and Mary Jane Girls in Madison Square Garden. That was pretty classic. That was probably one of our earlier gigs, concerts.
Yeah, I saw Rick James and Cameo. I've seen Rick James a bunch of times, but yeah, you talk about a Midnight Star and the Stone City Band and Rick James. That that's a different kind of behavior, but great music nonetheless from both bands.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now when Midnight Star is still going on strong, but you guys decided to make your own path and Calloway. How long did it take you before you left Midnight Star to do Calloway?
So we left Midnight Star in '86.
Okay.
And then we began to do the producers stream, and after 4 #1 records in a row, Dick Griffey said, how about you guys come and do a Calloway album? Because he felt like he was losing us.
Yeah.
And we're like, we've been waiting for this opportunity for a long time. Let's go.
Right.
That was an easy move. So it was about three and a half year period in there.
How disappointed were the fans when they knew you guys were on to another group, your own group?
I think there was a lot of disappointment. Yeah, a lot of people. There's a few even today look for a reunion, of which we're happy to do at any time. Mm-hmm. So, but the fans were really, because they fall in love with the whole thing.
Right.
They love this band member for that reason, this band member for that reason, and it's like a TV show where you don't want to lose any of your characters. Yeah. But we're just proud of the rest of the group for sticking with it, because they had a period where they had stopped actually performing, and then just to see them come back and keep perpetuating all this great music and keeping all these songs alive, which Vincent and I love to do as well. So